Coach Mookie
What's up,
Harkins, how
Mookie?
you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you? Can't hear you, Mookie.
Sorry about that, Coach.
There you go. Yeah.
Coach, great
You
win
want me to show you how to
yesterday.
use that? You want me to show you how to use that?
Yeah, I got. Hey, you always coaching, right? Always coaching. But did you get any sleep last night?
Yeah, a little bit on the plane, and then we came in here and got to work on the film.
How refreshed were you just to see your 11 just peel their ears back and control the line of scrimmage last night?
The D line?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they did a great job. I thought both lines, the offensive line and the defensive line, both really did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage most of the game.
Overall, what stood out to you the most in yesterday's victory?
Well, I think it was our first game together as a team and our first game together as a staff, albeit we've had preseason games. It's not the same. And I was very impressed by the way the team hung together through the better part of 3 and 4 quarters and played their best football and coached their best football when it mattered most, which was in that last quarter there.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, Andy Young here, Spectrum News. Any updates on Ed Oliver and what he's dealing with?
Yeah, I can tell you he's sore today. I don't know anything more at this point, so we'll just continue to take it one day at a time here and go from there.
There we go. Good afternoon, Coach George Redney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
Good, George. Good to see you.
All right. Congratulations on the last night. And I was wondering, was Ed Oliver hurt on the play on the 4th and 1 when the lineman pushed everybody and they all ended up landing on top of Ed Oliver? Happened to be on the bottom of that pile. Was that when the injury occurred?
It was either that play or a similar play there that you're describing an event where he was being pushed. I don't know if it's on that play that you're describing or a similar play.
Okay. And also my other question, in the second half, are you taking consideration of not running Josh Allen with the ball as much, especially once you get up by 2 scores, where possibly giving James Cook and some of the other running backs more touches, especially a rookie like Cook, maybe to make up for the unfortunate fumble earlier in the game to get him more acclimated to the speed of the NFL game?
Well, yes, to not running Josh. We had a waggle pass called there and in the 4th quarter in particular. And, the receiver got covered. So Josh pulled it down and ran with it. His only other option. So that's something we can do better as coaches and we will moving forward. And as far as running back touches and everything, you want to be able to get young guys in the game later in the game. And you don't always have that luxury in the NFL as games are very close, but we'll continue to monitor that moving forward and, give opportunities that are earned at the same time.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Coach. Have a great day.
You too.
Good afternoon, Sean. We got a chance to talk to Jordan Phillips after the game yesterday, and just all smiles about just being back in this system that he said allows him to be the best version of himself as a player. What have you seen that allows him to pick up where he left off? And I mean, he was as effective as anybody last night, it seemed.
Yeah. He just thrives in our environment. I think, it's a credit to him, credit to our staff, our culture, his teammates. I think all of that kind of factors into why he plays the way he does with us. And it was fun to watch last night. He brings a lot of energy to our team. He brings an edge to our football team as well, which is good.
I know you talked a little bit about last night, but is there any insight you can give us into, just what you saw from Christian Benford, not only the week of practice leading into the game, but, going back to OTAs and in training camp that gave you guys the confidence to give him the opportunity that you did give him last night?
Well, he's very steady. If you track his history all the way back to the spring, and then even more so training camp till now, up to now, he's been steady. He's been consistent, which is a very good thing for all players, but in particular a rookie. And he just seems very poised, between the ears as well, in terms of nothing really rattles him, and he's big, he's strong, and he had a good camp.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, to kind of follow up on that, what did you see out of each of those rookie corners last night? And I know you guys have talked about mixing them up throughout the game, but was that the plan of, I think it was like 2 drives each and then switching for a bit? Did that meet what you guys were expecting?
It did. I thought Coach Butler did a good job with that, and both players played good, solid football in their first outing, and I think it should give both of them confidence, but also at the same time, we move forward with that competition, and they're both trying to make each other better all the while, and then make our team better as well.
When you mentioned moving forward with that competition for, until you guys get Trey back, is it going to be kind of week to week on a starter, or do you guys want to have that solidified?
No, I just think we'll see how it goes. Week to week probably is the best way to approach it right now, Catherine, or to describe it right now is, we're going to continue to evaluate it and see how everyone's playing, and what maybe matchups there are in front of us each week.
Thanks.
Hey, Sean, during the off season and in the spring and summer, you talked about how that trio of young pass rushers of Greg and Boogie and AJ, how important it was for them to take that next step in their development. I know it's just one game, but they all had, one or multiple kind of splash plays there. Just how nice is that to see that's already kind of forming in week 1?
Yeah, good to see. I mean, obviously Vaughn had a big night, and Jordan did as well, but good to see the other players that are on the younger end of our roster that way. Heather, as you mentioned, Greg, Boogie, AJ, all get involved. I thought all showed signs of improvement from a year ago in their last regular season game or real game. So when multiple people can get involved and share in the contribution, the energy, the edge to our defense, it really bodes well for that rotation.
And I know you talked about it a little bit last night, but just, when you have a young player like James Cook who fumbles on his first NFL carry, is that something where do you kind of have to try to have maybe some conversations with him on the side, just sort of make sure that it doesn't kind of fester and, the mental side of that? Yeah,
for sure. It's we try and allow the player to reset and then get back out there. And I thought Coach Skipper did a good job with allowing that time to take place. And then James was back out there for a couple, maybe 3 to 5 plays, I think, through the rest of the game. So I think that's better than a player having to not go back out there and then sleep on it and not having a chance to kind of make up for the mistake, if you will. But I think that's something he'll learn from, and he needs to learn from, and we can do a better job with overall as a team as well.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach AJ Feldman here in Rochester. Obviously a big game from Stefon Diggs against Jalen Ramsey. Over the years, how have you kind of seen him rise to the occasions in those big matchups when he's taking on, another top player at his position?
Well, Steph is very competitive. That's a big reason why he's gotten to where he has at this level and in this level. So he looks forward to those matchups, and those are 2 really good football players that were competing against one another. And I thought Steph did a phenomenal job last night, and at the same time kept his cool enough to focus on the task at hand and do his job for the team. So that was a big play down the stretch for us for sure in that fourth quarter.
And then, you start with a Thursday night game, you get a Monday night game, kind of a nice little break without having to do the short week before it as you usually would on a Thursday game. How much of an advantage is that? And how do you best use this time to set yourself up for that Monday game and maybe the next coming weeks?
Yeah, it's not as consistent as we'd like it to be. We do get a little bit of a break right now, which is great. We'll be on a short week the week after, but really, I'm glad I spent a few hours with the Sabres and had a chance to see some of their schedules that they deal with in the NHL, because that's what we're dealing with a little bit right now. But we adjust and we overcome, and we've got great planners in our building that help us with it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach, a few more if I may. Coach Dorsey's first.
Rookie, you only get one, they said. Everyone's on the one question. I got no sleep, man. I'll fall asleep if this goes any longer.
Oh no, this is good. This ain't gonna keep you. This got you in suspense right now. But Coach Dorsey's first drive, how important was it to be to start off just fast and aggressive, and how did you think your team did as far as the conditions of playing at the stadium?
Yeah, I thought overall the stadium it was our first time there, and exciting venue there, and obviously new and state of the art. In terms of the first drive, I thought it was very efficient. We were efficient in the run game a little bit, efficient in the pass game. Josh got on track early there, and I thought it was well planned by and called by Coach Dorsey.
No doubt. And last but not least, Coach, the fans, embracing the fans there. What was it like to embrace Bills Mafia at SoFi?
Yeah, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. To see our players, do this, trying to get the crowd into the situation, whether it be on defense or when the offense made a big play, or special teams for that matter. That's just so cool to be a part of when you're on the road and somebody else's place, in particular, the defending world champs there. So really appreciate Bills Mafia showing up there like they did.
No doubt, Coach. Enjoy the break. Back to work. You already know.
That's right. Thanks, Bookie.
Hey, Sean, Andy Young here again. Given all the talk throughout the offseason and the preseason about putting players in position of adversity, and then to see 3 turnovers in the first half, and even though the offense is kind of moving the ball and the defense played well, to have your team have those setbacks and then at the same time turn around and really turn it on in the second half, how satisfying was that?
Yeah, I mean, we went in at halftime, and Andy, and we were, to a coach, all talking about, hey, we were shooting ourselves in our foot there, and didn't feel like they had really stopped us to that point. So I thought just that perspective, if you will, at halftime was good for the players to hear, and because the game was what it was at half, 10-10, right? So and then to come out, first kickoff, pin them inside the 15-yard line there, defense goes 3 and out, special teams comes back, fields a punt, gets us in good field position, offense scores. So good complementary football to come out to start the second half. And I think that's really what got our energy level back up, and we finished strong.
That's all the questions we have for today. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone.